What's going on? What's going on? What's up? What's up? We got one person in the room. What's going on with you, man? How you doing? Go ahead and leave a message. Let me know who you are. Couple people, two like, one like. What's up with y'all? Go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let me know who tuned in. I'm gonna wait a while before I'm waiting till a few more people. There we go. Right on, right on. I'm gonna wait a little bit until we get some more people in the chat before I start talking about today's topic. Y'all might be wondering where the hell have I been at? Michael, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man? Happy Thursday. Week almost over. Tired. Had a long day. But yeah, man, what's going on with you though? What's going on with everybody else that's in the chat, man? I appreciate y'all for stopping through. We got 8 people in the chat. I don't expect it to be too many people. It's really unexpected. Haven't really posted in a long time, so we'll see how it go. We got 11 people in the chat. That's good. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all probably the ones that got the notification on. Like, okay, yeah, he's still around, huh? It has been like I haven't been around. I'll tell you that right now. But it's for good reason. You know what I mean? Kind of partly due to the topic of today. We got about 12 people in here. I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer, but Ricardo, what's going on? What's going on? Colin, what's up? Colin, how you been? Long time. Carl, what's up, brother? Yeah, man. Yeah. I've been good. I've been good. Working a lot. Working a lot. Just doing a lot of things behind the scenes. Doing a lot of things behind the scenes. There's been some changes in the fish room. But yeah, roller coaster riding, basically. How about you? GJ Aquatics, what's up? What's up? What's up? Scott, what's going on? What's going on? Michael, I feel you. It's hot. It's like 101 today, man. We got 17 people in the chat. That's what's up. All right, so before I dive into the conversation of today, so I'm just gonna tell y'all. So I've been working a lot, y'all. I've been working a lot. I've been trying to spend more time getting my aquariums under control. Hey, man, your aquariums will let you know whether or not you've been doing a good job with taking care of them, right? The fish gonna tell you. Your aquarium's gonna tell you. So my aquariums told me that I've been too busy. I've been too busy. I haven't been maintaining them properly. So I had to get back to that. I had to dive back into the hobby, and I had to really start doing better with keeping my aquatic pets. I know some of y'all could relate. It gets out of hand sometimes. So that's why I wanted to do a topic today. I was going to just dive in and say, hey, checking in, what's been going on with me lately. But I figured that, let's have a topic. It kind of like runs hand in hand. So we could talk about, how many aquariums do y'all need? How many tanks do you really think that you need? Do you need a fish room? The pros and cons of the fish room. So me having a fish room for going on 2.5 years, I've definitely experienced the pros and the cons, y'all. Experienced the pros and the cons. Some of y'all that's OGs, y'all know that I came from the apartment. I had like 9 aquariums in the apartment, saltwater, freshwater. 9 aquariums might seem like a lot to some people, but it's very manageable. Very manageable to have 9 aquariums. So then fast forward to a few months ago, I told you I had 30 aquariums, 3 ponds. Now that is excessive, y'all. That's excessive. That was just too much for me. If I was just a content creator and I spent all of my day taking care of my aquatic pets, taking care of these 30 aquariums and ponds, that's totally different. But I'm a business owner. I have a family. I got a little son. You know what I mean? I got the birds. It's a lot. It was a lot of work, y'all. A lot of work. So y'all seen a few months ago when I started, downgrading. I took out like 6 aquariums. Since then, I've taken out some more aquariums. And I've had some some losses. That's another topic. Not today though. That's not today's topic, but it has a lot to do with predatory fish. Predatory fish. So expect that conversation to come up soon. We're gonna talk about the predator fish keepers. That's a nice hashtag. Predator fish keepers. Y'all remember that. That's gonna be a topic. But so been dealing with the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? Um, still been working towards building out that saltwater plywood aquarium. Um, I built a stand for me to move the 225 off the stand that because basically it's gonna be a nice 13-foot aquarium right there. I built the stand next to the 225 that's already on the stand, so I had to build an additional stand. So when I move out the fish, and the sand and the rock work, I could just transition the tank from the original stand to the smaller stand. Then I can fill it back up, and then now I have both stands free, and now I'll be able to start building up on top of the stands and get this 1,300-gallon built. So that's still in the works. That's something that hasn't really been able to get taken care of because I've been so busy with work, which is great. But that's what's going on with that. What else is going on? So yeah, so the pros that I've had with the fish room. So if y'all have fish rooms, y'all know more fish room, more aquariums, more fish. That's great, right? We're fish keepers. We love to have a lot of different fish. Now, the con to that is how are you going to be able to manage all of this? It's not only financially, it's not only heavily financially a problem, right? It becomes a problem, when you're constantly buying fish. You know what I mean? If you got kids, got a family, that can become a problem when you constantly buy fish, right? That's the first thing. Then you got time management. How much time are you going to be able to allocate towards maintaining all of these aquariums? Now, like I said, I wasn't able to do that. I would actually like to get down. I wish I had 10 aquariums, y'all. I wish I had about 10 aquariums. 10 aquariums, I think, is very manageable. Larger ones, not smaller ones. But some of us, we like, larger fish. So we need, more aquariums, things like that. So that goes into how many aquariums do you think that you need? Now, I used to think that, a lot of people were like me. Y'all had a bunch of aquariums like I have. Y'all have 30 aquariums, 20 aquariums, 15 aquariums, 10 aquariums. The average hobbyist probably have maybe like 3, maybe 5. And I feel like that's almost like going into the MTS, multiple tank syndrome. I don't think a lot of the hobbyists have 5 aquariums. So I think it's like between 1 to 5, but really like 1 to 3. Now, that's a good number. Let's just say if you have 3 aquariums, you have one main display tank, right? You have one main display tank, whether it be a 200-gallon, 300-gallon, 125-gallon, whatever fish you decide to keep. You're also going to need that other tank for quarantine. So you want to make sure you have a second tank for quarantine. That could be if fish gets sick, and it needs to be big enough to where if you have a larger aquarium, the larger fish can go in there. So you at least need 2. And then the third one, introduction fish. The fish that you buy that's new, they're going to go in there. They might not be in the same aquarium that you're going to put the fish in when they get sick. So I think 3 aquariums is almost necessary for anybody that take their hobby serious and that really love the fish that's in that display tank. You want to make sure that you at least have 3. Now, when we start talking about 5 and 6 like that, that gives you other options. You could have another display tank. You could have another quarantine tank. So now you got 5. Another display tank, different kind of fish. You need a quarantine tank for that one as well. So now you have 5. You see how this could just quickly just go from 1 to 3 to 5 to, I didn't expect to have 30 aquariums, y'all. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to have 30 ponds. An apartment, I think it was like perfect. It was perfect. I had the 240, I had the 225, I had the 125s. But then it got to the point to where, fish not getting along. So now I got to separate them. Now I got a tank full, like with 1 fish in there that can't go with anybody else. Or I got a tank where I got, 3 fish in there that can't go with anybody else. Y'all know that all the fish in the pond, in my 800-gallon pond, they can't go with nobody. Nobody else could go in there. Now, maybe my arowana could, the albino arowana, maybe the Giardini could, but for the most part, all of my Central American cichlids, they cannot go in there. My Oscars can't go in there. My other giant gouramis can't go in there. They can't because it's such an aggressive pond. They'll basically, kill whoever goes in there. So probably can't say that word online, but I said it anyway. So that's a problem with the pond. Then the 240, I got fish in there that can't be mixed with the fish that's in the 55 gallon and 60 gallon. So it really becomes a problem. Now, what I've decided to do about that is that maybe I should just disclose some of these losses, or maybe not. Well, let's just say this, because like I said, that's going to be in another video. The losses that I've taken over the span of this past month, I mean, it's really been some time. Like I've been taking hits. I've been taking hits ever since I lost Bart. And yeah, one day things are good, and the next day, things just turn on you, right? 180. So yeah, I don't plan on replenishing any of the fish that I've lost. What I've lost, they're done. I would really like to get my tanks dwindled down to somewhere in the 10, probably 15 range, because I got the other fish room. But yeah, I want to do better with my fish keeping. I want to do better with the fish that I have. The ones that I have, I want to see them grow into full length, full size. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on doing my plywood build. I'm focusing on upgrading the 800 gallon to the 3,000 gallon, or whatever case may be. I want to upgrade. I want to do all of that. And whoever is going to still be around, great. You know what I'm saying? But I've been playing musical tanks, trying to make things work. And in the end, no matter how many times you move around a fish, you're either going to take it back to the store or you're going to cross your fingers. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to disclose without disclosing some of these things. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the next live, we're going to talk about predatory fish, and I'll give y'all a little bit more information on what the hell's been going on and what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. On another note, the pond is doing great. Nothing really going on with that except for just explosion with the plant growth. Water stays crystal clear. That's like really my happy place right there with the pond out there. Just so y'all don't worry, Lisa Ray is good. The shark is doing good. Mostly everybody in the 225. Well, everybody in the 225 still there aside from Bart. Yeah, so we still got a lot of the fish still. You know what I'm saying? But this heat between this heat and the predatory fish, they definitely tested my patience. They definitely tested my real love of this hobby, because some of y'all might know when I moved here, I took a hit. I lost like 95% of all the fish that I had. And it took me months to get back into the hobby. You know what I mean? It took a long time for me to develop my joy back towards the hobby. So that's kind of like what happened. I lost a matter of fact, let's just talk about it. Fuck it, let's talk about it. So pufferfish, y'all. Y'all know that I had Hollywood with eels and sharks and all type of other fish, and it was straight. And had no issues the whole time. Y'all know that I had that 125 right there with with 3 pufferfish. Was it 3? No, 2 pufferfish, and everything was good. Some of y'all know that we lost the black edge eel, so couldn't figure out why he jumped out. You know what I mean? So lo and behold, fast forward a few weeks, I found out why he jumped out. So we lost the pufferfish started being aggressive towards my eels. So I ended up losing my yellow edge, not because he jumped out, but because one of the pufferfish bit him up, so I lost that one. Then my larger snowflake eel, same thing. Remind you, I'm not at this point. I'm not even really knowing what happened. You know what I'm saying? I just know that he's dead. I just know that he looked a little shredded. Looked like that he got sliced with a knife, right? So lost the snowflake, right? So then I got rid of the stars and striped pufferfish. I took them back to the store. You know what I mean? I kept the smaller one, the striped pufferfish. Um, Moved everybody from the 75-gallon in the house. Some of y'all might know that was the saltwater tank. Moved everybody from the 75-gallon in the house, threw them inside the 125 because now the 125 is empty, right? All I had in there was a smaller snowflake eel, and then I had the striped pufferfish. So went ahead, moved them all over there. Within one day, lost them all. Lost them all. So everybody that I had in the 75-gallon all this time that was doing phenomenal because I wanted to give them a bigger aquarium, lost them all. Except for one damn snowflake clownfish. It's the only one that made it. And Skeletor. Skeletor made it too, right? Y'all know Skeletor is my Skeletor eel. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep Skeletor in there with the striped pufferfish. Why'd I do that? Then the Skeletor eel got taken out by the pufferfish, the striped pufferfish. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, was it both of them? Was it just the one? Like what the hell's going on? So man, I'm about to take that, man, that pufferfish gotta go. So anyway, so now I got just the striped pufferfish in the 125 by himself. I'm waiting to get some free time from work so I can take him back to the store. He gotta go too, right? Then my striped, my blue line grouper in the 225, y'all know he was a problem. Some of y'all OGs know what time it is. Y'all know he was a problem. He was a problem for a long time. So the blue line grouper started attacking the shark, my horn shark. Like, what the hell, man? Like, you get attacked. Like, y'all know the horn shark is probably like maybe like a foot. Blue line grouper maybe like 6 inches. You know what I mean? He could easily just do him in. At least that's what I would think. But so I catch the blue line grouper, take him out, put him in the 125 with the striped pufferfish. The striped pufferfish is a little bit bigger now. You know what I mean? I think they could live together. Blue line grouper start tearing the tail up of the striped pufferfish, biting this shit up. He's still trying to heal now. I'm like, man, both of these motherfuckers gotta go. Both of these motherfuckers gotta go. I'm tired of this. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't have time to take them back to the store. So I just throw the divider up. So now the tank split in half. The striped puffer is trying to make a recovery. The blue line grouper is in there, still doing good. They both eating and all that. But yeah, that's what happened with the 75-gallon in the house. And that's what happened with the 125. Now, what's going on with the 75-gallon in the house? I threw Drax in there. Drax, is a more personable fish. He's never really going to upgrade to a bigger aquarium because I got to keep him by himself because of his personality. So he's in the house. He's doing good. Some of y'all might have caught some of my shorts that I threw the tiger fish into the 75-gallon where Drax was. And for the saltwater guys, I don't know if Tenen popped in. I haven't really been checking the comments. I apologize. I'm just rambling. I ain't really rambling. I'm telling y'all what's going on. But for the saltwater guys, or the people that's been wondering what's going on with the corals, that's an excellent question. Well, what happened last year with the corals? What happened last year with those aquariums when I had the Queen Angel, Koran Angel, Emperor Angel? Got too hot in the fish room. I got an AC unit, portable AC unit in there. That's something that you got to consider when you have a fish room. How you going to cool that space? You know, the split systems on a wall is like the best ones to get. You know what I mean? You could spend either $500, $1,000, $1,500, whatever. But you're gonna spend some money to get that thing installed. It's gonna take some time. You gotta have you gotta have dedicated power to that line, which is nothing if you have room in your panel. Now I don't have room in my panel to run any dedicated wiring to anything else. Period. I've already looked into this. It would cost $5,000 to upgrade that panel so I can have some free slots to add in more electricity. So it's running to the fish room. So it was running to the other fish room, AC unit, etc., etc. That's $5,000 before I have somebody come out and install a split system, which is probably like another, let's just say another $1,000. So $6,000. I don't have $6,000 for that. Don't have $6,000 for that. So that's something to keep in mind. That's the reason why I stopped doing the smaller aquariums last year. Freshwater is so much easier. Saltwater is a lot harder. So yeah, that's what happened with my corals. A lot of the corals just started, getting bleached, from the heat. They get too hot, way too hot. So I probably got I got my clove polyp still. I got my star polyp. I got my firecracker clove. Got the pulsing zinnia. I got a couple of acans, I think. Yeah, so I probably got like five of the corals left. Five of the corals left. I took the smaller snowflake eel out, threw them in there. I upgraded them from the 20-gallon aquarium to the 37-gallon aquarium. And yeah, so we're just trying to get through the summer. They're literally as closest to the AC unit as they could get. What else has gone on? Pretty much that's it for the losses. That's it for the losses. But that's enough. That's enough. Oh shit, nope. I didn't tell you about my Oscar. So y'all know that I bought that the Zebrina pike from Predatory Fins. I had him in the same tank with my two Oscars. One of my Oscars and the Zebrina pike decided to pick on the other Oscar, and so I lost that Oscar. Who else have I lost? It's pretty much it. That I really care about mentioning. I mean, shit. I don't know if y'all knew that my smaller Vieja got killed. Yeah, in the 240. Yep, the Vieja got killed in the 240. One of my Golden Jack Dempseys, he's on his way out. Yeah. Lost a couple of discus. My African cichlids are still very aggressive, still, picking on whoever they want to pick on. So yeah, it's man, that's why I said predatory fish. So it's a conversation. I mean, I love predatory fish. I was one of those people that love the hashtag predatory fish keepers. I tell everybody all the time, I want the big fish with the teeth, right? Well, you got to keep in mind that big fish with those teeth is probably gonna end up, I think the correct term that people like using around live is unaliving one of the tank mates. It's all good until it's not good. It's all good until it's not good. So keeping all that in mind, just think about all of that. Right now in the other fish room, I added the smaller one where the better fish are, and everybody's at. No losses in there. No losses in there. I added some more community fish in those aquariums. I got community fish in there. So, and everything's going good. It just makes me think about why people choose to keep small community fish. It really shows me that. At one point, I would never have small community fish. But now I get it. I get why people like the small community fish. They're easier on the pocket. They're more affordable. If you take a loss, You know, it's easy to replace, and yeah, it's a lot easier. But you know, it is what it is. You know, we live and learn. You know what I'm saying? Live and learn. You know, I know a lot of people probably, you know, either talking shit in the comments, talking shit in their head. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all take losses, and if you say you don't, you're a fucking liar. But you know, at least I'm gonna share and keep it real with y'all. You know, maybe y'all can learn from some of the things that I'm going through. Like I said, I haven't had problems like this until I had problems like this. Um, I always thought you could keep puffers. You know, with at least from my experience, I've always kept puffers with like eels, and even when I had the puffer with the shark, you know, it wasn't a problem before. But it's a learning lesson, man. It's a learning lesson, man. Puffer fish are definitely one of those fish that could cause serious damage real fast. You know, I would recommend saltwater, freshwater puffers. Keep those in aquariums with like fish, other puffers, uh, box fish, maybe fast fish, you know, something like that. But I would never put a puffer in an aquarium with the eel again. Never do that with a shark. Hell, in the apartment, I had some triggerfish and an angelfish that killed my I keep saying the word. You know, this is it's crazy. Keep on having to use that word, but and alive my zebra eel, and the angelfish and the triggerfish alike did damage. You know what I mean? So you know, you just never know, man. Like this hobby is it's a beautiful hobby, but sometimes it could be unforgiving. Sometimes it's gonna test you. It's not like how people that like love cars and they work on cars and things like that. I mean, you don't take the same L's. You know what I mean? You don't take the same L's. You know, if you're restoring a car, you're buying parts for it. You know, if you're buying them brand new and you're not taking a loss with somebody giving you a used part or something like that, you don't take hits like that. You don't take hits like that. It's when you decide to keep, you know, living animals that, you know, it could end up being a real loss because not only do you lose an animal, but you lose all the time that you spend taking care of those animals. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of those hobbies that's gonna challenge you and test you to see if hey, do you really love this? Is this really something that you want to do? You know, I know plenty of people that got into the hobby and after a severe loss, they jumped right up out of it. You know, um, tank nuke, I'm done. You know what I mean? Um, that's just not me. You know what I mean? I really love this hobby. I really love this hobby, and through all those losses, all those things, all those were learning lessons. You know what I mean? Um, and it's forcing me to be a better fish keeper. You know what I mean? Forcing me to be a better fish keeper. I thought I was solid before. Thought that I did my best. Well, I was doing my best, but I know I know I could do better. You know what I mean? So that's why I haven't been putting out a lot of content because you know sometimes the content slows down the times that I have with actually taking care of my tanks. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get a lot of time when I'm recording. I don't get a lot of time outside of work and recording. You get what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm going to record or if I'm going to clean my aquariums, I'm going to also record, which basically is going to make it to where I'm only able to do half the aquariums that I would have been able to do if I'm just able to move around and just get to it. You know what I mean? So I just been getting to it. I've just been doing better with my husbandry, and you know the videos have taken a hit, but I ain't going nowhere. This is what I do, you know. So even be like I said, behind the scenes, I've still been active. So I will show y'all the progress when I do start that 1,300 gallon. I'm not gonna do that behind the scene, but whether I post videos or not, just you know, just know that I'm still here. You know, I appreciate those of you that have reached out, checked on me, checked on the fam, things like that. We definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, I just you know, between being so busy with work and having so many aquariums, I just have been needing to focus more on being a better fish keeper. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's been going on with me. That's what's been going on with me. Like this weekend, I gotta work. I start work Saturday at 4, and I'm gonna work all the way until shit until I can't work. You know what I'm saying? If it might be 4 to 4, you know what I mean? And then I gotta go back to the same site, and then I gotta be on site again. You know, doing some more work that Sunday, and yeah, you know, it's good to be able to be busy with work because YouTube don't pay shit. So it's all good. You know, I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I'm happy about that. Because if my business wasn't going good, then it'd be ugly. You know what I mean? So those of you that's really the true OGs, those of y'all that really support me and fuck with me, you know, just know I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to a certain point to where I will be able to start putting out more content. But in the interim, I might just go live when I can, just like right now. As soon as I'm done with this live, I gotta knock out 3 invoices. You know what I mean? I mean, that's gotta do the invoices to get paid, but you know, worked all day, got the invoices to do, and then you know, spend some time with the family and all that. You know, some of y'all might know I've been back on my gym shit. You know what I'm saying? It's getting kind of strong in that area. So, life is good. I hope life is good for y'all. I hope y'all have been keeping cool if you somewhere where it's hot. And if you somewhere where it's cool, I hope you've been keeping warm. I hope that y'all been healthy, taking care of yourselves. And I say it again, like, man, if y'all deal with like a lot of pain, you know what I mean? If y'all find yourself waking up stiff and in pain, you know, start trying to get more active. You know what I mean? Stretch, get to the gym. If you can't do it, if you can't get to the gym, work out at home. You know, stretch and strengthen those muscles. You know, I have back problems. I've been having back problems for the past 12 years. I got a bulging disc on the right side of my lower back. And I tell you from experience, I just had this conversation with my brother earlier because they told him, Dan, they're the same thing, the same shit. You know, a lot of people deal with having a bulging disc in their back. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. You can operate, but sometimes that make it worse. So you got to learn how to live with it. You got to learn how to manage it. You know what I mean? And if you have lower back pain, it could possibly come from tight glutes, tight hamstrings. It pulls on your lower back. You know what I mean? And the best remedy for that is exercise. Exercise. Because that way you could stretch those muscles, you could strengthen those muscles. So when you overexert those muscles doing something around the house, in a yard, at work, or whatever the case may be, your muscles are already used to it. You know what I'm saying? They're already used to it. So basically, it's like a minor or a heavy workout. You know what I mean? Once your body starts getting to the point to where it recovers after a day or two or hours or whatever the case may be, that's how you know that if you overexert it doing anything around the house or whatever or at work, you know, you're going to recover a lot faster. So if you take anything from that message, just understand that I'm in that boat with you. We're dealing with back pain and things like that. And after going through physical therapy for years, going through the chiropractor, all of those different things, I went through that for years. And all that did was just keep me on the couch, keep me in bed. It slowed the healing process down tremendously. I used to go from taking 2 months to get back to feeling like myself to where I can do stuff to when I'm at my worst, 2 weeks later, I'm going to the gym the whole time, doing what I can. I'm not doing nothing where I'm hurting my back, no squats, nothing like that, but I'm doing something. 2 weeks and I'm back. You know what I mean? Now it's just like I understand, like even when you feel like shit, you got to work through it. If you work through it, you'll definitely end up in a better position. You'll definitely feel better. And in a shortened amount of time that you're actually laying in bed or feeling messed up. You know what I mean? A lot of the time when you have back pains, it's coming from inflammation. And like I said, it's coming from those tight glutes, you know, because you might have, even if you're just going up and down the ladder, that right there, it can cause problems. If you're in the front yard and you're shoveling, you're sweeping, things like that, and your body's not used to it, you out there for 2 or 3 hours, Your body like, hold on, I ain't been working out like that. I haven't been put through that. I'm in shock. So your body inflames, get tight, and the only way for you to release that tightness is for you to stretch it and strengthen it, and not just stretch it, not just sitting there on a roller and doing all of that. It's not going to really do anything for you. I promise you, because I'm telling you from experience, not from something that I read, not from something that somebody told me. You got to start applying warm muscles, then do the stretching. So go to the gym, do what you can, strengthen your shit, warm your shit up, and then stretch it. And I'm telling you, you'll get some better results and you will find yourself not as hurt as often. You know what I mean? When I was working out all the time, I went years without my back going out on me. But every time I stop going to the gym, every fucking time, my back goes out faithfully, faithfully. So I hope that helps somebody. I appreciate every single one of y'all that's tapped in. I appreciate all 21 likes. Like I said, the next topic, we're going to talk about some predatory fish, even though I kind of dived in it a little bit. But like I said, I got to get these invoices done. You know, going to help my girl with cooking some dinner. Probably going to have some Alfredo, whatever. But anyway, I appreciate you all. Sorry I didn't get to the comments tonight. This was more about, just addressing what's been going on. And yeah, stay blessed. Have a great night. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.